Do a quick video on coming out, not when you should come out or how you should particularly do it or how I know I was gay. Those are gonna be other videos, but how I came out. So, in the summer of 2009, I went to San Diego to do an internship. So I was gonna be there for 3 months, and I knew that I needed to change pace. I knew that I was gay, and I knew that I wanted to start meeting people, and I eventually wanted to get a boyfriend and get married one day. So I figured, what greater time than when I was on internship away from family, 2,000 miles away, than to meet someone and to come out. So what I did was before I left for San Diego, I put an ad out on Craigslist. I think it's in the, I forgot what section, platonic or whatever, but I put an ad out and I said, hey, I'm coming to San Diego. Does anyone want to show me around? And someone replied to the ad and we started talking. And for between the time I put out the ad until the time I went there, we were talking probably for a month or so. So comes the day when my dad and I drive out to San Diego and we're texting along the way. Oh, I'm gonna be there in a few days. I can't wait to meet you. And before I know it, I've been in San Diego for about, let's say 2 or 3 weeks, and we're still texting, this guy and I, this guy named Ricky. And I finally get a text at work saying, hey, do you want to stay online or do you want to meet in person? So I say yes, let's meet in person. And that evening or the next day, we decided to meet at a coffee shop called Filter in North Park, which is a area near the village of Hillcrest, one of the gayer parts of San Diego. And we meet and we had a lot of fun. We talked and went for a walk, and we pretty much enjoyed the evening and gave him a hug, and we parted ways for the evening. And now, 4.5 years later, we're still together. But because of that, I knew that I wanted to be with him or hang out with him more, and not just friends, but more boyfriend and potentially a long-term partner. So it really got me to realize, hey, I want to show people, I want to share this part of my life with people. I met someone special and I want to share this with people. And so I went home that night. Well, not the night I met him, but a few nights later from his house. He lived in the southern part of San Diego. And I said, hey, screw it. I'm just going to send out an email, which might not be the best way of doing things, but I decided to do it that way. I went home to the dorm that I was staying at on San Diego State University, and I typed out an email to my mother. So the next day when I go in for my internship, I get a text from my mother saying, we support you 100%, and call us after work. So when I go home from work, I call my mom, and she's crying and hands the phone to my dad, and I talk to my dad, and he says, hey, we support you, just be safe, which is the weirdest part of talking to my parents after coming out via email and then talking to them over the phone. But they were supportive, and it took a couple days for my mom to be able to talk to me, and it took a few more days for it to feel less weird with my parents. And then eventually I did the same thing about a month later with my brother, sent him an email. He said it was okay. There's still some issues with thinking that he had an influence, but I tell him no. The important thing is you gotta find a way of coming out that works for you and the timing that works for you, and you gotta make sure that you're in an okay spot, meaning if things don't go as planned, you have a place to go or someone that you can rely on. In me, I had distance. For you, it may be a friend or family member that you know will be okay. So that's my coming out story. Feel free to ask me questions or leave comments, and thank you for watching.